Well, hello there, my young readers, and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new, welcome. Thomas and his friends are back, and they have brought more stories from their Sleepytime collection. So get nice and comfy with your blanket or your comforter, and get your dolly or your teddy bear, and get nice and comfy for the Sleepytime stories. And I will see you guys next week. Stay tuned. The name of this story is called James to the Rescue. One lovely morning, James pulled into Sodar's search and rescue center. He was smiling widely and looking very pleased. Sir Topham Hatt has asked me to be the rescue engine today, he puffed proudly to Rocky. Just then, Toby trundled up the track. "Hello, James," he tooted. "Sir Topham Hatt has sent me to help you." But James most certainly didn't want any help. At that moment, Rocky received an urgent message from Gordon's driver. Gordon was in trouble. James immediately puffed away down the track to rescue his friend. "Wait for me," Toby tooted. "Remember, Gordon's a big engine. You're going to need some help." But James most certainly didn't want his help. Gordon's front wheels had come off the track. "I'll shunt you back onto the track in no time," James peeped. Toby was worried. "Gordon's a heavy engine," he said. "You should fetch Rocky for this job." But James most certainly didn't want any help. "I'm the rescue engine," he puffed proudly. "I can do this myself." James buffered up behind the big blue engine. He shoved and he shunted. And then there was trouble. The track creaked, it cracked, and then it crumbled. Gordon groaned as the track gave away. "I think now it really is time to get Rocky," Toby told James. But James still didn't want any help. "I'm the rescue engine, and I have a plan," he peeped. "I'll biff Gordon back onto the track." So James backed up behind Gordon. Then he pumped his pistons, and then he biffed Gordon's buffer with a huge bash. But, oh no, James and Gordon toppled off the track together into a muddy field. "I guess I'm not a really good rescue engine after all," James said sadly. "And now I really do need help." "Happy to help, James," Toby peeped proudly. He rushed back to the rescue center to fetch Rocky. Rocky came and lifted Gordon and James out of the mud and back onto the track. "Toby, will you please shunt me to the rescue center?" James asked. "Happy to help, James," Toby peeped proudly again. Back at the rescue center, Sir Topham Hatt was waiting for James and Toby. "Thank you for sending Toby to help me, sir," James said. "You'll be glad to know that he's the best rescue tram on Sodar." And Toby was glad to hear it. He beamed from buffer to buffer. Well, that ends that story. But you know how Thomas and his friends are. They're bringing you more. So sit back, relax, and stay tuned. The name of this story is called Edward the Hero. One day, Edward pulled into Knapford Station where he saw Thomas. Thomas was very excited. Sir Topham Hatt has an important job for you, Thomas peeped. He wants you to work with Harold as the rescue engine. You will be Edward the hero. Edward thought that he would like to be a hero, but he was worried. He wasn't sure that he would be very good at it. In fact, he didn't have any idea how to be a hero. Just then, Gordon raced through the station, pushing Rocky. Gordon was strong and fast and stern. Gordon is a hero, Edward thought. I must be more like him. And he puffed out of the station. But as Edward went along trying to be strong and fast and stern, he saw Charlie looking sad. Charlie had forgotten all the jokes he wanted to tell the children. So Edward told Charlie some more jokes and made him jiggle and giggle. You're funny, chuffed Charlie. That made Edward happy. But then he remembered something. Oh dear, he said with a sigh. I wasn't strong or fast or stern. I was just funny. I must try harder to be a hero. Further along the line, Dowager Hatt stood on the platform looking worried. She had sent her suitcase to Mayron Station by mistake. Edward raced to fetch it and brought it safely back to her. You are very kind, Dowager Hatt said to Edward. Just kind, Edward said, sighing again. I must try harder to be a hero. Then Edward saw Farmer McCall's little dog. He was lost, and he was scared of the engine. Very gently, Edward edged closer. The dog jumped aboard, and Edward took him back to Farmer McCall. You were very gentle, Edward, Farmer McCall said happily. Thank you. Oh dear, Edward puffed. I was just gentle. I wasn't strong or fast or stern. I must try harder to be a hero. When Edward finally arrived at the rescue center, Harold wasn't there. He must have left without me, Edward said sadly. I'm not strong or fast or stern. Edward slowly puffed back to Knapford Station to tell Sir Topham Hatt that he just wasn't a hero. On the way there, he passed Farmer McCall, who called out, There he is, Edward the hero. A little later, he passed Charlie, who called out the same thing. There he is, Edward the hero. Edward didn't understand. When he arrived at Knapford Station, Dowager Hatt was there. She called out, There he is, Edward the hero. But I'm not a hero, Edward said. I wasn't strong or fast or stern. No, you weren't, replied Sir Topham Hatt. You were kind and funny and gentle. You are a hero, Edward, just being yourself. And Edward beamed from buffer to buffer. Well, that ends another story in this video. I hope you guys are enjoying these stories because we are not done yet. We have our last one coming up next, so stay tuned. The name of this story is called Belle's New Friend. Everyone on Sodor liked the new engine Belle. She was a big blue engine with a big bell. Belle could fight fires with a whoosh of water. One day, Thomas puffed into Knapford Station and saw Belle watching Toby as he trundled away. Who's that, Thomas? Belle asked. He has a bell, too. I'm sure we could be good friends. Thomas told Belle all about Toby. He also told her where to find Toby's hut. Belle wished straight to Toby's hut. Belle was big and noisy. She made Toby feel very small. Toby told Belle that he liked to be quiet and to listen to the birds singing. "I know how we can have much more fun than that," said Belle. "Follow me." Belle took Toby to the bottom of a hill. "Let's race to the top, then whoosh down," she cried. Off she puffed at full speed. "That was fun," Belle said, laughing as she came to a stop. But Toby didn't answer, because Toby wasn't there. "I'm not good at racing," Toby said when Belle found him. "Don't worry," Belle replied. She really wanted Toby to have fun, and she really wanted him to be her friend. "I know what we'll do," she said. She raced off to a field full of pigs as Toby followed. "I like pigs," said Toby. "They make me happy." That made Belle happy too. Then she had an idea. "Pigs like mud, don't they?" she asked. She whooshed water from her spouts into the field. But Toby didn't answer, because Toby wasn't there. "I don't like whooshing water," Toby explained when Belle found him. "Don't worry," she replied. "Follow me." Belle chuffed off to Mithwaite Station and rang her big, loud bell. Ding, 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 for all of the waiting passengers to hear. "We're the bells of Sodar," Belle said, laughing merrily. "Ring your bell for the passengers too, Toby." But Toby didn't answer, because Toby wasn't there. Belle was worried. She wanted to find Toby. She wished a way to look for him. Belle found Toby hiding in his shed. "You didn't have any fun," she said to him sadly. "And now you won't want to be my friend." They both sat quietly. Belle heard the birds singing. "That's a beautiful sound," she said. Toby smiled. Then Toby had an idea. He took Belle back to the pigs. Quietly, they watched the pigs snorting and snuffling. Belle didn't make Toby feel small anymore. Then Belle and Toby went back to Mithwaite Station. Toby jingled and jangled his bell for the passengers. Belle rang her big bell as quietly as she could. "Belle is my friend," Toby told everyone. "We're the bells of Sodar." And Belle smiled from buffer to buffer.